Hey yo, what is up? A quick heads up on the new Kari Tier 8 tank destroyer from the Japanese line. This is of course a premium tank in the loot box thing, which you can only get through the loot boxes. And yeah, this is my first game in the tank and probably going to be my only game in the tank, because I am not a tank destroyer player, or specifically I don't like fixed turrets, so I don't make any videos, I don't play any tanks that have fixed turrets. So this is from my perspective, from a guy that does not play fixed turrets. Okay, this is of course the tank that's a lot of been anticipating this tank, because it is kind of interesting. And I wasn't going to make a video on this tank, to be honest with you, because I don't play fixed turret tanks, but I'm obligated to try out the tank. And after I tried out the tank, I decided, yeah, this tank should, you need a video on this tank, because this tank is actually, I'm afraid to admit it, is pretty good. It has a huge gun, 500 damage, with the premium shells, 298 penetration or something like that. It'll pen anything for 500 damage. The standard shells are AP, the premium shells are also AP, but with higher velocity. I think the premium shells are like 1200 meters per second velocity, and the standard shells are like 980 shell velocity. So really good velocity on AP shells, whether stock shells or premium shells. Stock shells give you 252 penetration and premium give you 290 plus and 1200 meters per second. I mean, you want to fire premium shells all the time here just because of that. And the mobility on this tank is what is kind of fascinating about this tank. It is 750 horsepower with 16.66 power to weight ratio. This tank has the agility of a medium tank, very agile, very quick to rotate its turret. So if you want to like duke shots, you can like quickly fire off your shot and then turn your hull and try to use your try to slope your armor so that you can bounce some shells. That works, but will it work on tier 9s and tier 10s that are firing premium shells at you? Probably not. But on same tier to lower tier tanks, yeah, you can bounce off some shots by angling your armor. And when I say angle, I mean quickly swerve your hull and try to avoid, try to use the angles to bounce off shots. But if you watch the video on Wargaming, they kind of like said this is an assault assault tank destroyer. Go forward and use your armor and tank. But in my opinion, I don't think you can do that. You can't really tank with this thing, but you can support your other medium tanks and other heavy tanks and be aggressive if you wanted to. But to say go forward and be the lead guy, with the heavy tanks behind you, no, I don't think so. Whoops, with that shot there, bad shot. I was expecting him to go forward, but he just stopped there. But anyway, I still get to finish him off, and I try to go forward. Again, this was my first game, so I was trying to take the advice of the video, go forward and be aggressive. So that's exactly what I tried to do. And then I found out that it won't eat shots from an SU-130 PM. But again, I was saying I decided to make a video about this tank because it is fascinating. The gun is amazing. It feels like a fixed turret Scorpion G. That's what it feels like. The hull may not be, the hull is traversing quicker than a Scorpion G, but the gun sounds like a Scorpion G. The penetration, it feels like the gun feels like I feel like I'm in a Scorpion G when I'm shooting. So that's what I think about this tank. I kind of like it. I'm afraid I have to admit it. For a guy that does not play fixed turret tanks, I kind of like this tank. I think mostly because of that 500 alpha, you do feel superior. You do feel like you're making a difference every time you land a shot, because you're hitting 500 alpha. It feels like you're making a difference in this world. So in that sense, I feel like this tank is going to be kind of relevant. It's going to be useful to some players who like tank destroyers. Are definitely going to like this tank. Are they going to like it enough to buy loot boxes though? I don't know. How do I feel about the loot boxes? I think they are getting a bit out of hand. It's just going to be loot box central. It looks like it. Every couple of months you're just going to have loot boxes. It looks like this is where the game is heading. This is where the monetization strategy is going to be for wargaming. So I have reserved feelings about it, but you do what you got to do to make your game profitable, so I can't really fault them for finding ways to make money for their company. But there you go, that's my first game on the Kari. Yeah, I kind of like it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.